The Minister of Water Resources, Mr. Suleiman Adamu, has hinted that the ministry will introduce river training to control recurrent flooding of Rivers Niger and Benue to mitigate disasters and humanitarian crises. Adamu made this known when he featured on the News Agency of Nigeria flagship interview program Forum in Abuja. He said the ministry, through its annual Flood Outlook 2022, had warned of severe flooding in many parts of the country, hence the need for Nigerians to take precautionary measures. While citing instances of efforts by developed countries like Hungary at taming their rivers, he said Nigeria will pick experiences from such countries and adopt it effectively.
We want to do a study on Rivers Niger and Benue. We want to do a master plan that will address some of these issues. Why is River Niger flooding? Part of the reasons, one of the reasons that the river is, there's huge sediment in the river. River Niger traverses the Sahara Desert. You know, it starts from the Futajalon, runs through Mali in the Sahara Desert. So it brings a lot of sediments every year. And so it's filling the river. And so when an extraordinary high-intensity flow comes in, you know, the river, the water, if the capacity of the river bed cannot take it, it will spill over the banks. And that's what's been happening. So one of the things we were trying to do, the engineering solution to that, is to have what we call river training. That involves dredging. It involves putting some structural elements, what we call groins, and so on, into the river. It requires doing some dikes, you know, on embankments. It requires reclaiming certain floodplains, even straightening some of the sharp bends on the rivers, and so on and so forth. It's a huge, huge endeavor. What we want to do under this administration, we've been working very hard to find the funding, is to do the master plan. We have projected that a project of that nature for Rivers Niger and Benue will cost anything from $14 billion upwards. And this is not something that any one government can do. And in any case, it's not a job that you can do in a year or even in 2 terms of an administration. This is supposed to be a generational issue. So what we would, you know, we want to take the first step by doing that master plan and hope that succeeding administrations going into the future, the next 20, 30 years, will continue to work on them. You know, developed countries have done a lot to tame their rivers, but they have not been 100% successful, even at that. One of the most difficult rivers in Europe is the Danube, and it has, because over the last 100 years, it caused a lot of calamity on the people. But they've been able to train the river, and it's the experience of this from Hungary that we are trying to bring to bear in Nigeria, so that we might be able to do. But as I said, even at that, you can reduce the effect, but you cannot effectively say that you can eliminate flood and its effects, because nature behaves in mysterious ways.